Hello and welcome to another ghostly tale. This time this ghostly tale is not about ghosts, but it's about a big cat sighting. It goes back to 2001, 2002, when some developments were being done on a bit old farmland just near to where I am at now. The builders had been having a bit of trouble, and somebody had broken into the shed and tried to steal the JCB. When they couldn't get this JCB away, they tipped it over and cut all the hydraulic pipes, which cost them a fortune to replace. So the solution, what the builders came up with, was to ask one of the other builders if he would stay on site on a night time to be security. He would get free boards and lodgings and a bit of extra money for being security. To keep him company, there was a large Rottweiler dog which was on a zip line which went from the top of the farmyard right way down to the bottom. And the slightest noise and the Rottweiler would bark. The lad's duties were, as I said, to be security, but also to feed and water the Rottweiler dog. He said one night, after feeding it and watering it, he'd been settled down for a couple of hours when the dog started to bark. The lad went out to see what was wrong, and the dog was straining at its leash right at the bottom of the zip line. It was after something which was in the woods, and it was barking and growling on. The lad went back in the house to grab the large spotlight and came back out, and he shone the torch down to where the Rottweiler was growling and barking on. There, as he shone the spotlight around, two green eyes came back at him. He walked a bit further down, thinking it could be a fox or something like that. And as he did, he saw that was a very large black cat. This cat, he said, was larger than a Labrador dog, and apart from it not being scared of the Rottweiler, it was as though it was taunting the Rottweiler. The Rottweiler was growling and barking on, but this cat was just unfazed, just staring at it. He went down a bit further and looking at it and thought, if it's not scared of this Rottweiler, it's definitely not going to be scared of me. So he turned, hightailed it straight in the house and locked the door. Now, when I got told this tale, because of where it is just outside of Durham City. There's a housing estate just very close to where the buildings were. I didn't put much credence into the story, but since then I've heard at least 3 or 4 more tales from that area. One was from a man who used to get called Shorty, or the flower grader, because he wasn't very big. And one night he was walking down his usual track, walking the dogs, when he saw a big cat. It was just sitting in the hedge back looking at him. His mates took their pee out of him, saying, "Oh, you've just seen a domestic cat, but because of your size, this cat looked a lot bigger because you're not very big." He always said that was a big cat he saw, and this was a black cat about the size of a Labrador dog. Another one just across the road in Shincliffe was when a police officer, or retired police officer, was walking his dog when he saw from the fence near to Shincliffe something trying to pull a rabbit through the fence. When he got closer, he saw it was a very large cat about the size of a Labrador dog trying to pull this rabbit through the fence. Now, sightings of big cats in the area go right way back till about 1985 or 86, when one of the first sightings investigated by PC Eddie Bell was reported in Shincliffe. A cow and calf had calved. The farmer had been out on the morning to check around and seen the cow had calved. He went back later on at night time to check that the calf was okay. He scoured the fields, but he couldn't see it. It was getting a bit late, so he headed back home. The next day, he went back up to try and early on to try and see if he could find the calf. He searched high and low, couldn't find it, but then he did find it, and it looked as though something had dragged it right way down the fence and then tried to get it over the fence. At the time, there was a lot of problems with poachers, and he just put it down to the calf had been poached and somebody had carried there. But there was no tracks in the field, and the carcass had been partly ate, but there was nothing taken from it. So, if you're walking your dog, or out on your bike, or going for a run, if you hear a noise in the bushes, you may well be being stalked by a big cat. So just be careful, and please don't wear any leopard skin print or zebra skin print clothes, or you might get chased. Anyway, good night for now.